Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Nrsimha Dev Jaya Nrsimha Dev Jaya Nrsimha Dev Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Prahlad Maharaj Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Nitai Gora Hari Bol Nitai Gora Hari Bol Thai Gaur Premanandi Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parajakacharya Sri Srimad A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parajakacharya Sri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Se Kaho Shri Kṛṣṇa Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Garadhara Shivasadi Gaur Bhakti Vrind Ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Go Gopinath Sham Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Vrindavan Dham Ki Navadip Maipur Dham Ki Ganga Mai Ki Yamuna Mai Ki Bhakti Devi Ki Tulsi Maharani Ki Samaveda Bhakti Vrinda Ki Gaur Premanandi. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 7, Chapter 9, prayers offered by Prahlad Maharaj, text 44. Prāyeṇa deva munayaḥ sva-vimukti-kāmā maunam caranti vijane na para-artha-niṣṭhāḥ na etān vihāya kṛpaṇān vimumukṣa eka na nānyaṁ tvad asya śaraṇaṁ bhramato nupaśye prāyeṇa deva munayaḥ sva-vimukti-kāmā maunam caranti vijane parārtha-niṣṭhāḥ naitān vihāya kṛpaṇān vimukṣa eko nānyaṁ tvad asya śaraṇaṁ bhramato nupaśye prāyeṇa deva munayaḥ sva-vimukti-kāmā maunam caranti vijane parārtha-niṣṭhāḥ naitān vihāya kṛpaṇān vimukṣa eko nānyaṁ tvad asya śaraṇaṁ bhramato nupaśye Vaishnavis. Prāyeṇa, generally in almost all cases. Deva, O my Lord. Munayaḥ, the great saintly persons. Sva, personal, own. Vimukti-kāmā, ambitious for liberation from this material world. maunam, silently. Caranti, they wander in places like the Himalayan forest, where they have no touch with the activities of the materialist. Vijane, in solitary places. Na, not. Para-artha-niṣṭhāḥ, interested in working for others by giving them the benefit of the Kṛṣṇa consciousness movement, by enlightening them with Kṛṣṇa consciousness. Na, not. Etān, these. Vihāya, leaving aside. Kṛpaṇān, fools and rascals, engaged in materialistic activity who do not know the benefit of the human form of life. Vimumukṣa, I desire to be liberated and to return home back to Godhead. Eka, alone. Na, not. Nānyaṁ, other. Tvad, but for you. Asya, of this. śaraṇaṁ, shelter. Bhramato, of the living entity, rotating and wandering throughout the material universes. Nupaśye, do I see? Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. My dear Lord Nrsimha, I see that there are many saintly persons indeed, but they are interested only in their own deliverance, not caring for the big cities and towns. They go to the Himalayas or the forest to meditate with vows of silence, maunam. They are not interested in delivering others. As for me, however, I do not wish to be liberated alone, leaving aside all these poor fools and rascals. I know that without Kṛṣṇa consciousness, without taking shelter of your lotus feet, one cannot be happy. Therefore, I wish to bring them back to shelter at your lotus feet. Purport. This is the decision of the Vaishnava, the pure devotee of the Lord. For himself, he has no problems, even if he has to stay in this material world, because his only business is to remain Kṛṣṇa consciousness. The Kṛṣṇa conscious person can go even to hell and still be happy. Therefore, Prahlad Maharaj said, Naidvajya para duratjaya vaitaranya. O best of the great personalities, I'm not at all afraid of material existence. The pure devotee is never unhappy in any condition of life. This is confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam 6:17-28. Narayana para sarve na kutaschana bhibyati swarga pavarga narkeshva api tulyartha darshina. Devotees solely engaged in the devotional service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Narayan, never fear any condition of life. For them, the heavenly planets, liberation, and the hellish planets are all the same. For such devotees are interested only in the service of the Lord. For a devotee being situated in the heavenly planets and being in the hellish planets are equal. For a devotee lives neither in heaven nor in hell, but with Kṛṣṇa in the spiritual world. The secret of success for the devotee is not understood by the karmis and jnanis. Karmis therefore try to be happy by material adjustment, and jnanis want to be happy by becoming one with the Supreme. The devotee has no such interest. He is not interested in so-called meditation in the Himalayas or the forest. Rather, his interest is in the busiest part of the world where he teaches people Kṛṣṇa consciousness. The Kṛṣṇa consciousness movement was started for this purpose. We do not teach one to meditate in a secluded place just so that one may show that he has become very much advanced and may be proud of his so-called transcendental meditation, although he engages in all sorts of foolish materialistic activity. A Vaishnava like Prahlad Maharaj is not interested in such a bluff of spiritual advancement. Rather, he is interested in enlightening people in Kṛṣṇa consciousness, because that is the only way for them to become happy. Prahlad Maharaj says clearly, nānyaṁ tvad asya śaraṇaṁ bhramato nupaśye. I know that without Kṛṣṇa consciousness, without taking shelter of your lotus feet, one cannot be happy. One wanders within the universe, life after life, but by the grace of a devotee, a servant of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, one can get the clue to Kṛṣṇa consciousness. And then not only becomes happy in this world, but also returns home back to Godhead. That is the real target in life. The members of the Kṛṣṇa consciousness movement are not at all interested in so-called meditation in the Himalayas or the forest, where one will only make a show of meditation, nor are they interested in opening many schools for yoga and meditation in the cities. Rather, every member of the Kṛṣṇa consciousness movement is interested in going door to door to try to convince people about the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita as it is, the teachings of Lord Chaitanya. That is the purpose of the Hare Krishna movement. The members of the Kṛṣṇa consciousness movement must be fully convinced that without Kṛṣṇa one cannot be happy. Therefore, the Kṛṣṇa conscious person avoids all kinds of pseudo-spiritualist, transcendentalist, meditators, monist, philosophers, and philanthropists. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Garadhara Shiva Sadi Gaur Bhakti Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Every time I sit on the Vyasasana, I feel utterly unqualified to be speaking about the transcendental subject matter, the relationship between the Lord and His pure devotees. Just like Prahlad Maharaj, when was put in the front of Lord Nrsimha to offer prayers to pacify the Lord from his anger by Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Prahlad Maharaj was stunned in ecstasy seeing the Lord while paying obeisances. And after paying obeisances, Lord Nrsimha put his hand on Prahlad Maharaj, and by the touch of the Lord, Prahlad Maharaj was able to recite beautiful prayers. And so I request for all the devotees to bless me so I can speak on the exalted qualities of Prahlad Maharaj and Lord Nrsimha. And so as we know that the Lord appears in this world in once every day of Brahma, and the purpose of the Lord is to annihilate the miscreants and to deliver the pious, the devotees, parityanaya sadhunam vinashaya chadushkritam. He appears millennium after millennium. And so similarly, Lord Nrsimha appeared in Satya Yuga to annihilate the miscreant Hiranyakashipu and his army, and to protect and deliver the pious. But more so, the Lord appears for the pleasure of His devotees, for glorifying His devotees. And that's why Lord Nrsimha appeared to glorify his exalted devotee, Prahlad Maharaj. Just like Kṛṣṇa told Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita that you should go ahead and fight because I've already killed all these enemies. Maya vaite nihata purvam eva. That everything is already done. Nimitta matram bhavasavya sachi. That you just act as an instrument. Be an instrument in this fight and everything will be done. The glories, the victory will be yours. And so similarly, the Lord appears to glorify His devotee and to show the living entities how glorious and exalted the pure devotees are. And just by the example set by the pure devotees, how they become an instrument in fulfilling the desires of the Lord, we learn that lesson of how magical and mystical it becomes that when we start to act like instruments, things that we can never even conceive of doing, starts to happen. Even within our Krishna conscious society, we can see there are so many miraculous events that have happened during Prabhupada's time and after his departure, that because of that instrumental mindset, one gets empowered by the Lord. And so, while I was trying to find which verse, trying to pick which verse to speak on, I was really studying the prayers offered by Prahlad Maharaj after the whole termination of Hiranyakashipu happened. And it was amazing how Prahlad Maharaj, although such an exalted Vaishnava, at 5 years of age, he was, teaching and sharing Krishna consciousness and was at such a high level. But the first thing he began when he started his prayers, he displayed his unqualification. He displayed such Vaishnava humility. Kim toshtam arhati sa me harir ugra jate. That I'm from Ugra Jati, I'm from a very low-born Asuric family. Who am I that I can offer prayers? Who am I who can pacify the Lord? Over here there's Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, Lakshmi Devi, all the demigods, and here I am from a Asuric family or a 5-year-old boy. What can I do? And so when we really meditate on that humility, it's inconceivable how a great devotee just naturally shows their unqualification for being a great devotee. But that's what we learn by the example set by Prahlad Maharaj. And he, after offering his prayers, he started glorifying the Lord. He started praying to Lord Nrsimha about his divine appearance and his Lord Nrsimha's transcendental qualities. And Bhaktivinoda Thakur says that for one who offers prayers to the Lord, they are situated on Brahman platform. And so we can take that literally, that when we come in front of the deities, when we are offering prayers, when we are taking darshan of the deities, we are situated on Brahman platform. It's not such a ordinary thing to recite prayers and take darshan of the deities every day. And then Prahlad Maharaj goes on to emphasize the importance of pure devotional service, that there is no other way to please the Supreme Personality of Godhead, whether you have wealth, you have aristocracy, that you have beauty, you're highly educated, if you have luster, influence, physical strength. Prahlad Maharaj says all these material qualities and influences, whether you have any mystic yoga powers, intelligence, none of these things will pacify the Lord, will please the Lord. Although in our material affairs we place these items at a very high level, at a pedestal, because we feel that by having those influences we will be able to get our way, we'll be able to get people towards our side. But because the Supreme Personality of Godhead is a person, in order to win his favor, in order to capture his heart, what really works is pure love, is pure devotion. Because we cannot really bribe the Lord by giving any of these things which actually belongs to Kṛṣṇa himself. And so Prahlad Maharaj goes on to further showcase the futility of material existence and the importance of Kṛṣṇa consciousness. That people are endeavoring for material happiness in different ways, trying trying different pursuits, careers, relationships, traveling and this and that, the other, to find some kind of happiness, some kind of pleasure. But they have missed the goal of life. They have missed the importance of what the human form of life is supposed to give. Because when we understand from the Vedic literatures that the human form of life is so rare, after going through all the different species of life, 8.4 million species, one comes to a human form. And even within the human form of life, there are so many different varieties of human form. And so one gets this rare opportunity to come in contact with the devotees. So one can start to question and inquire about what is the goal of life, how can we make our life successful. And so these are the qualities of Prahlad Maharaj, that just by displaying his simplicity in his behavior, he captured everyone, his associates. It's like when he was in his school, he was teaching all his playmates about Krishna consciousness rather than playing sports. And in all situations, he was always dependent on the Lord. He was always dependent on the mercy of the Lord. In fact, it is said that when Hiranyakashipu was trying to kill Prahlad Maharaj, trying to torture him by throwing him in the pit full of snakes, throwing him off the mountain, trying to poison him, starve him to death, and whatnot, Prahlad Maharaj was thinking that my father is playing with me. And at all time he was just fully dependent on the Lord, that my Lord will save me, my Lord is always with me. And that's why when Hiranyakashipu in rage asked Prahlad Maharaj, "Where is your Lord? Now I'm here holding sword in my hand, I'm going to kill you right now. Where is your Lord?" Prahlad Maharaj, in his simplicity, he could understand that the Lord is present everywhere. He's all pervasive. So, and when Hiranyakashipu said, "Is your Lord in this pillar?" Prahlad Maharaj said, "Yes, sure, why not?" The Lord is present everywhere, so why not in the pillar? And then, as we know, Hiranyakashipu struck the pillar with his hand, and then first came the ferocious sound that shook the whole universe. So one thing to note is that Prahlad Maharaj first appeared in the form of sound vibration, and then his form came into existence. Something that we might neglect, but we have this desire to see the Lord physically with our eyes, but more important than seeing is hearing the Lord. And that's why when we are chanting Hare Krishna, we are actually associating with Krishna personally. However, with our conditioned mind, we are not able to perceive the presence of the Lord. But of course, as we keep hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, as we keep practicing Krishna consciousness, that realization dawns on us. Another great exalted quality of Prahlad Maharaj was his compassion. After offering prayers to Lord Nrsimha, Lord Nrsimha was pacified, and he asked Prahlad Maharaj, "Okay, now you have asked me whatever you want, I'll give you any benediction." And so Prahlad Maharaj said, "I don't really want anything, but if you are asking me for a benediction, I would like that my father be delivered from hellish planets." This is another inconceivable behavior. Imagine somebody trying to kill you, torture you, starve you to death, poison you and whatnot. And here's this person who's asking for their deliverance, so that they cannot go to hell. What to speak of doing all these things? Sometimes even when somebody looks us with, give us some bad looks or just does something to us, we feel like, oh, this person has done wrong to me, so they should just disappear from the face of the earth. But over here we see how Prahlad Maharaj was so compassionate towards all living entities that he wanted to save his own father who basically just wanted to kill him. And over here in this verse we are hearing that Prahlad Maharaj is saying that, there are so many spiritualists and practitioners and yogis and monists and whatnot who want to go in the Himalayas, who want to go to the forest to meditate, to achieve all these siddhis, but I don't want to go anywhere. I want to be in the city, I want to be in the big towns, and I wish to help these fools and rascals. It's Prabhupada's words. He's saying, I don't want to be liberated alone. I want to help them by sharing Kṛṣṇa consciousness with them. In another verse, famous verse that Prabhupada often quoted, where Prahlad Maharaj said that, I'm not really afraid of the material existence. Naiva dvaje para-duratyaya va-itaranya. That this material existence, which is like an ocean, I'm not really afraid of that. Tvad virya gayana mahamrita magna chitta. That I am absorbed in chanting and hearing in thoughts about you. I'm fully satisfied and happy. Soche tato vimukha cetasa indriyartha. But I'm concerned about these people who are making elaborate plans for being happy materially, and they are maintaining their so-called families and societies and their countries. Maya sukha bharam udvahato vimudhan. That my only concern is that I wish to help them, I wish to give them Kṛṣṇa consciousness. So we are seeing how Prahlad Maharaj is so selfless in his behavior that it doesn't matter whether he gets liberation or not. He is ready to stay in the material existence to help the people by giving them Kṛṣṇa consciousness. It reminds me of one pastime in Chaitanya Charitamrita where one Brahmana, when he met Lord Chaitanya, he wanted to leave his home, leave his family, and just wanted to go with Lord Chaitanya in his travels, in his Sankirtan. But Lord Chaitanya said that, no, you should stay home, you should stay with your family and keep practicing Kṛṣṇa consciousness and help others to practice Kṛṣṇa consciousness. And in fact, when you will share Kṛṣṇa consciousness with others, then I will be with you all the time. Because sometimes even if you are traveling with a devotee, with a great saintly person, how much can you be with them 24/7? But here Lord Chaitanya is saying that if you share Kṛṣṇa consciousness with others, if you chant Hare Krishna and help others chant Hare Krishna, I will be with you all the time. And so we can take up the opportunity that Lord Chaitanya is giving us, that Amara Agya Guru Hoy Tara Aidesh, that although we are not qualified to become teachers, we are not qualified to share Kṛṣṇa consciousness, but when we try to act as instruments in the hands of the Lord, then the Lord arranges everything for us to share the message of the Lord. And so this is what we are seeing, the qualities of the pure devotee of Prahlad Maharaj. He didn't want to accept any kind of benediction from the Lord. Another response of Prahlad Maharaj, when Lord Nrsimha asked Prahlad Maharaj for a benediction, Prahlad Maharaj said, if you're asking me for a benediction, my only benediction is that I do not have any material desires. That my only desire is for engaging in devotional service for your satisfaction. And so he says that I don't want to have a relationship of a merchant, of a vanik seva, that I'm doing service to you and then in return I'm waiting for some benediction. I'm not that kind of servant. I want to render service to you out of love, out of pure devotion. And so Prahlad Maharaj was one of the Mahajans. Mahajana yena gatha supantha. So Prahlad Maharaj is again setting the standard for us to come to, where we can engage in pure devotional service. Another place Prabhupada mentions in the purport that Prahlad Maharaj is an exalted pure devotee is because he was attached to Kṛṣṇa. He understood that Lord Nrsimha is Kṛṣṇa himself, Vasudeva Bhagavati Yasya Naisargaki Rati. That Lord Nrsimha, who is Keshava, Keshavadita Narahari Rupa, that Lord Nrsimha is Keshava himself, who is Kṛṣṇa, and he has appeared. And so Prahlad Maharaj was very much attached to Kṛṣṇa in the form of Lord Nrsimha. In Brihad Bhagavatamrita, where Narada Muni is traveling the whole universe trying to find the most exalted devotee, Narada Muni comes to Lord Shiva and he inquires who is the most advanced, who is the most exalted devotee. And Lord Shiva says, the most exalted devotee is Mahalakshmi, and you should go to Vaikuntha and see Mahalakshmi. And Narada Muni was very jubilant, very happy, and he was ready to go to the Vaikuntha Loka, Vaikuntha planets. And then Lord Shiva gently held him and asked him to come closer. He said, yes, Mahalakshmi is a great devotee, but you know who's a greater devotee than Mahalakshmi? And Lord Shiva started to whisper because he was cautious of his environment. And then Lord Shiva says, more exalted than Mahalakshmi is Prahlad Maharaj. The reason I'm not saying this very loudly is because my wife is very close to Mahalakshmi and I don't want her to hear this. And so you should go and see Prahlad Maharaj. He is a great devotee. And we know that Narada Muni is a spiritual master of Prahlad Maharaj. And so when he heard from Lord Shiva the exalted level of Prahlad Maharaj, he went to see Prahlad Maharaj. And Narada Muni, as he approached the gates where Prahlad Maharaj was staying, Prahlad Maharaj came out running, hearing that his spiritual master is coming. So he had all the paraphernalia for Guru Puja. But as Prahlad Maharaj saw Narada Muni took all the paraphernalia and started worshipping Prahlad Maharaj. So we see that by attaining pure devotion, we capture the Lord, we capture the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And that's why pure devotional service is so rare. That's what Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda has given us, without any qualification, without any having any qualities. In fact, Kṛṣṇa says in the Bhagavad Gita, Brahma Bhuta Prashanatma. First you have to come to a level of Brahma Bhuta, where you know you're not the body, you are indifferent to material ups and downs, and you are situated in Brahman. Once you come to that level and you surrender to me, then I'll give you pure devotional service. Then I give you devotional service. But of course, in our case, at least in my case, there were no such Brahma Bhuta qualifications. So it's all by the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda and his representatives Srila Prabhupada, who gave us devotional service, and we have that same opportunity to spread the mercy of Lord Chaitanya, Lord Nityananda by engaging others in devotional service, by using our intelligence to spread Kṛṣṇa consciousness. As this verse says that, or Prabhupada says in the purport, that the reason Kṛṣṇa conscious movement was established was so that we can go door to door to convince people about the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. And that's why Prabhupada wanted to establish all the centers in the major cities, so that the ordinary people can get the benefit. And so today we can pray to Prahlad Maharaj, understanding his mood, understanding his consciousness, that we can pray that we can get a drop of that compassion that he has for the living entities, so that we can become instruments in the hands of the Lord and become empowered. That's what Srimad Bhagavatam is preparing us to. It's preparing our consciousness so that we can understand how does a pure devotee think, how do they behave, what's their psychology. And by studying and by associating with the pure devotees in the form of Vani, in the form of sound vibration, we can come to that level. And so we'll finish off the class by reciting this, it's a prose mantra in 5th canto, glorifying Lord Nrsimha. Om Namo Bhagavate Nrsimhaya, Namaste Jas Tejas Avir Bhava Vajranaka Vajradamshra Karmashayan Randhya Randhya Tamo Grasa Grasa Om Swaha Abhyam Atmani Bhaishyati Om Shrom. That I offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Nrsimha, the source of all power. O my Lord, who possesses nails and teeth just like thunderbolts, kindly vanquish our demon-like desires for fruitive activities in this material world. Please appear in our hearts and drive away our ignorance, so that by your mercy we may become fearless in the struggle for existence in this material world. Lord Nrsimha Bhagwan ki jai. Gaur Premanandi.
Haribo, if I can have everyone's attention. This morning during Mangal hours, we had one of